They say life on the farm is hard but honest work. But in Common Ground World, we farm for a greater cause, saving the planet one soil patch at a time. Build an eco-friendly town, leveraging regenerative agriculture and recover valuable soil. Compete in weekly competitions to earn great prizes. Get rewarded for helping to support our ecosystem and your fellow farmers. Eager to learn more? Well, head on over to Gala Games and start playing now.
Good morning.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning. How's it going? How are y'all?
Good. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
We got, oh no. We got the Ninja Surprise, Farmer Michelle, Riant, Wild Moopsie, and Volcron here. It's a big
Hey,
AMA,
Volcron.
right? There's 5 of us. That's good.
Nice.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Well,
That's nice.
good morning to everybody that's listening, or evening, depending on where in the world you are. This is our March 22nd town hall. We've been doing this weekly for well over a year and a half, since July 2022. So,
Yep.
yeah, a few more months and we'll be at the 2-year mark. Yeah, so remember to like and subscribe and share the video with people. If you have notifications turned on in YouTube, then you won't have to ask in Discord, hey, when is the town hall started? Because you'll get pinged about that. So be sure to do that. Let's see. Who do we have in our Discord this morning? Martin, Lazy Lumberjack, Edie Lugs, Spartans, Red Fox, Dubstep. Huh. I don't see any Dash Riprock this morning. Lexel, Postman.
I'm sure he'll make his presence known at some point.
Yep. Got some gym players, BTB. Nice. Dub. All right, guys. Well, good morning. So, Farmer Michelle, you because this is a town hall and we ask questions and all that good stuff. Do you happen to know how people could ask those questions? Is there a link that they could?
There is. There it is right in the chat right there. Anytime you've got a question, just drop it in there. It's in the announcements every week. It's usually in Leaky Wednesday posts.
Nice. All righty. Well, let's jump straight into the headlines. Y'all are ready?
I'm ready.
All right. I'll go first. We have 2 weeks. I'm delaying the guilds feature by 2 weeks. We're doing our integration testing on that. And there's a couple things that, some of us weren't super happy with. A couple UI things. Just want, and it's a little disappointing to hear, but, we want to make sure that this goes out with as few bugs and as pretty looking as possible. So that's a little bit of bad news. I'll give you some more detail on the features coming up later in our game updates section. So how about the rewards, Farmer Michelle?
Yes, some rewards went out this week for last week's event. They went out, I think, a couple days ago. Now I lose track. This week's been going by so fast. I cannot even believe that it's Friday already.
Mm-hmm.
But those are all sent out. I think some Zealy rewards went out this week too, but I'm not 100% sure. I haven't been keeping good track of the Zealy rewards.
Okay. Well, on that note, how about you, Mr. Ninja Surprise?
Yeah, it's just been business as usual with social media. I do know that this week was actually GDC, so I was really busy with a lot of stuff for Gala and the Gala Hackathon that was going up. So just like a little bit of like a cross promotion here, but there was a lot of cool stuff that was going on with that at GDC, and Gala was really making waves there. So I'm actually going to be looking into making some more campaigns that are similar to the naming the Great Pyrenees NFT that we did prior. I'm going to see if there's like some other ideas. If you guys have any ideas that you want to throw by me, just feel free to do so. But yeah, that's pretty much from me. I hope to have more fun and exciting stuff to push out on social soon.
Awesome. Well, at least you didn't spill Red Bull on your keyboard like Farmer Michelle. Good stuff there.
It was the cats. It's always the cat's fault.
It really is. Red cat. Well, that's exciting. So let's see. Social media. All right. Farmer Michelle, any warnings or anything for our players?
Yeah, as always, be careful from scammers. They're definitely out there. Probably more this week than normal since we had the hackathon and all that this week. So definitely, if anyone ever sends you a DM and says they work for Gala Games, they don't, because we would never send you a DM. Don't ever give anybody your seed phrase or your password for any of your accounts. Make sure you're clicking on the proper links if you're clicking on any links. Don't just like Google Gala Games and click on the first advertisement link you see, because it could be a scam. Just make sure you verify exactly what you're doing before you try to log in anywhere. Don't trust anybody in DMs.
Eternally good advice. Awesome. Okay. Well, you want to move on to game updates?
Let's do it.
All right. I'll start just by making a comment about fixes. What I used to do is I would provide you guys the list every week verbally of all the fixes. But every now and then, because I was going off of our GitLab, the fixes that got merged in, every now and then, old Volcron would make a mistake. So what I'm doing now is I'm saying, wait till we do our release notes. You'll see the fixes and stuff in there that we want to make public. So I'm not going to list those verbally anymore because I don't want to cause any confusion. As for features, I'm pretty excited about our daily challenges coming up. I know people have been wanting that feature forever. It's relatively straightforward, just a couple UI elements, a backend job, and then of course all the controls that we're putting in for. We have a pretty sophisticated, data system here. So the controls for how many town points each of those earning NFTs earns and all that. So that's looking good. A lot of that is coming together and our plans are pretty solid there. And looks like that will go off without any surprises when we started in mid-April. So that'll be daily challenges. There is going to be, actually, not to put you on the spot there, Wild Moopsy, but did you want to talk about the UI element, like what it'll be like, how you'll pick a daily challenge or things like that?
Yeah, we can kind of talk about it a bit briefly. So we're going to be running these daily challenges, every 24 hours on the day. We're going to have them appear in the events tab. So you just click there, you join the game, you'll have a fresh new map, and then you just have to complete all these objectives that we'll set differently per day.
Thanks. And you're still thinking that from the challenges page, right? Same place that you would find our weekly challenges, that we'll have the daily ones in there?
From there, yep.
That'll be neat. So when we go to play, we're going to start with a fresh town every time for that daily challenge.
Yeah, so everyone's kind of starting on the same foot, right? Like, I think there was talks about like it being playable from like the casual mode or the common ground mode, but it was really messy on how you could already have your town all set up, right?
Yeah. Okay. I think that's pretty cool. Dubstep Rod has a question about it. Will they be on a new town every day? Yes, sir. We haven't found
variations, but yeah. The idea is it's going to be kind of different towns. Like we're going to have to start making maybe like a bunch and stockpile and swap them out. But the objectives will be different at least per day.
Yeah. Yeah, that way, like Wild Moopsy was saying, like you don't have a town that's, churning out, hundreds of common commodities every minute. So that the daily challenge is actually a challenge, not a daily click me. So yeah, I'm excited about that. Well, on to guilds. A lot of the guild stuff is UI driven. For our testing, we're using one of the Cabernet stands as our node NFT. People were wondering like, well, when, I have a node license, when's that getting converted to node NFTs? That team was testing it over the weekend and through the week. I think a couple of those guys might be at the GDC. I'm not sure, but looks like it's going well. Like us, they're just being really careful about it. Got all sorts of unit tests and locks, and that's something you only do once, so you want to get it right the first time. So for testing, what we've been doing is just in our data config defining like, oh, well, if you own this other NFT, then you can create a guild. And then through the UI, you step through, you create the guild, do the player search, add your guild definition, pick your icon, all that fun stuff. So it's going okay. The delay comes from I'm just, so I'm the engineering lead. And as I look at, the probability of there being bugs as the front end and back end kind of come together for the first time on some of these things, I'm like, this is likely to have bugs. We should give ourselves some breathing room. So that's a call that I made. Through tomatoes if you want. I just wanted to go, go out without any bugs that we can help. So I think most people will appreciate that. Anti-cheating, you stinkers. That's always an arms race. So we know some of you are not whatever. So yeah, every week there's just something to say about people that we pull off of the leaderboard, people that we don't give rewards to because we caught you doing something naughty. It's a big priority for us. Farmer Michelle, Wild Moopsie, Riant, Ninja Surprise, me, Musashi, Mark, everybody feels very strongly about making this a fair and even game. So every week we're putting work into anti-cheating reports and fixing any big exploits that come out. So don't want to fuel any speculation on that. I'll just say that we work on it every week. And when there's big deals, we let you know. Let's see. Q and oh no, Poison is throwing tomatoes. Okay.
As long as he's not throwing tomatoes at us.
That's all I think.
I don't really like tomatoes very much.
Yeah. LV Postman, why don't I move up when you pull cheaters? Well, we don't nuke their ranking there, so I can fill you in on, or maybe Farmer Michelle can later on what we do. But in general, it's a post competition thing that we do there. So Q&A. Starting off with an art-driven one for Farmer Michelle. Can we remove black smoke from foundries, please? Thank you.
Yeah, I saw this question, and I have seen some screenshots of some people's towns lately with lots of foundries all in the same area, and it is hard to see through them when you've got all that black smoke. So we'll definitely chat with the art team, see if we can make it maybe a little bit more transparent or a little bit less, or, we'll definitely check with the art team and see what they can do to make that better.
Okay. I'm sure they'll come up with something awesome. Next one's for Wild Moopsie. Is casual play common world for daily? What? Could you give us some more info about how the daily rewards will happen? That maybe you didn't share already.
Yeah, so the daily rewards, we'll have like different objectives that you have to complete in that 24-hour cycle that day. Then you guys will place earner NFTs, and then when you hit claim, that's how you're going to get your rewards based on how much earner NFTs you've placed down.
Okay. Alrighty.
I think there's a huge calculation type thing, but I think when we get closer to releasing it, I can kind of go further to detail how that works.
Yeah. Okay, next one is for engineering.
I can ask it.
Oh, okay.
The question says, is there any progress on making units click through so we can click on buildings properly?
That ticket is not a great deal of work. It's probably 2 to 4 hours of work. And we have a list of quality of life things like that. And that one comes up every week. And we just have to prioritize our promises first. And I know you guys hear me say that all the time, but we have to be laser focused on these things, guilds, daily challenges, and then NFT upgrades. So short answer is, it's in the backlog, guys. I want to get to it as much as you do.
I think it's one of those things called, was that feature creep? You could continue to improve and update and add features, constantly. But if you don't focus on those main things that you need to get done, they may keep getting pushed back. So we're focusing on those main things that we know we need to get done before we work on other stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. For example, we wanted to show off some of the capabilities of the engine. So somebody was like, oh, well, let's add a day-night cycle. And I like it. But then some players like, oh, I'd like a way to turn this off. So then that could turn into, expanding on what you said, Farmer Michelle, is that could turn into, oh, okay, now I need a control. And now I need to save that control setting to my user account and persist it across towns. And, so yeah. Next question's for you, Farmer Michelle. Can we have a sandbox server so that we can quickly build and test layouts? It would be a great marketing tool as well to showcase the value of the NFTs available.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a great idea. I think the team agrees that that's also a great idea. Again, we do have to fulfill some older promises first. The only thing about that is that we might delay new NFTs for a couple weeks after the sale's been live for a bit before they show up in there for anybody to test out. But in general, we definitely would like to have that as an option so that you can go in there maybe with no money and play around with NFTs that are available so you can see how they work and what they do. Because, I mean, that is definitely something we would like to have.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it would be fun to run it at a little bit faster speed as well.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Let's see. Next one is for Wild Moopsy. This is kind of long. Can the NFT jewelry store not have priority over the in-game jewelry stores? It holds too many items. Please. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I'll take a look. And the NFT should have higher priority, so I'll take a look, see what's happening over there.
Let's see. There was another one, more priority questions. And can the heart-shaped print be stored in the warehouse? It's made by Pottery.
Oh, that's interesting. I'll take a look at that as well.
Okay.
Actually, no, we have a jewelry store. That's why we did it that way.
Yeah, it's stored in the jewelry store.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Next one is for engineering. Do you want to go over that one, Farmer Michelle?
Yeah, I can read it.
Okay.
Let's see here. It says, it seems that there were many top teams that illegally obtained points by transferring NFTs in town during offline mode or by moving them to sub-accounts, etc. Do you have any plan to make such cheating impossible in the game system?
Impossible. Well, yeah, it's always an arms race, but definitely in the new system, NFT ownership history, current owner, how long have you owned it? Those are absolutely necessary for your daily challenges. We don't want one person, with a high point value NFT using it, clicking claim challenge, send it to their friend, they click claim challenge, and so on. So yeah, absolutely. There will be, one daily challenge that for one town that an earning NFT will be allowed to be used in. That same system is of ownership tracking is necessary, for fast forward. If somehow you logged out and then that NFT was appeared in somebody else's town before you logged back in, that your town is no longer eligible to use that NFT for your fast forward period. That's a work in progress, but it's super important. And that'll also be necessary, of course, for NFT upgrades as well, right? So NFT upgrades is third quarter this year, but daily challenges is where you'll see that ownership tracking come out. That's something we work with the backend guys on every day. So let's see.
Awesome. Let me read that next one for you.
Alrighty.
It says on the last day, is that the one? Yes. On the last day of the tournament, just before the end of the tournament, the ranking dropped by about 200 places. Does FPS have anything to do with fast forward calculations? I feel like I'm making a difference with people who are online all day. Could you please investigate this?
Oh, okay. Your machine's FPS does not. In Play Canvas it did, if you remember, right? A slower machine got you lower FPS, and that affected your characters, which was unfortunate. That was one of the main reasons that we rewrote the game to be server authoritative, also to control cheating better. So FPS, short answer is no. It's all server driven. So whatever you see on your screen does not affect your ranking. If the question was about fast forward, the reason that fast forward takes a little bit of time is we increased the precision with which it fast forwards. You can go super, super quick and resolve the town in a couple seconds, but it won't be as accurate as if you fast forward in a very precise mode. So if that's what you're asking, fast forward from what we've seen is equivalent to being online and playing. Let's see. Next one's about prohibiting.
Oh yeah, more questions for you. It says, can you prohibit the transfer of NFTs, including purchases from the marketplace, other than new purchases from the official shop during the tournament period?
Okay. Well, I mean, it's your property, right? So we're not going to prohibit any, and we can't prohibit any sort of transfer. That's counter to the whole idea of this is your digital property. But what we can do is keep track of who owned it when, and not let you play an NFT that you borrowed from your friend in a same competition that he used it in, daily challenge. I mean, so yeah, NFT ownership history tracking is going to be super important, to the point where you might even see in the UI, we're talking about putting a little countdown timer that'll tell you, yeah, you own this NFT, but the place button is disabled for however long, or something like that. So.
Yeah, kind of forgot to mention that about the daily challenges, right? So you can't just place your earning FTs and then loan it to the next guy and have him use it.
Yeah,
we're gonna have that cooldown.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, just like we used to have on the old version of the game, was like a 24-hour cooldown.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I didn't know that. I just thought it felt intuitive to me when I put that in.
Yeah, it really is, right? Here's a question about rounding.
Oh, let me read that one too. Let me switch back over. It says, will the current effects rounding be fixed? For context, currently effects are rounded to the closest even number. So 0.5 becomes 0, 1.5 and 2.5 becomes 2, 3.5 and 4.5 becomes 4.
Okay. Well, sounds like a bug. So that's something we'll have to look into. I know we've had many discussions about the rounding, especially on proximity effects. And everybody was happy with our decision on how that went. But that was 8 or so months ago. So yeah, let's revisit that. Let's look at it.
Definitely.
Last one's for Riant.
All right.
Can you please change the name back to Townstar?
Well, we know that a lot of you guys miss good old Townstar, but we are committed with the Common Ground films to promote the benefits of regenerative agriculture through gaming. So it's more than just a name, it's the vision we have for the game as well. So the content we deliver, it's related to promoting and educating users about regenerative agriculture.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, let's see. Time for some live Q&A.
Yeah, I think that was it for the pre-planned one. I did see one from Moyes asking what we were going to do if somebody had more NFTs that earned than spots available on the town come daily challenges time.
Oh, that's a great question. Yeah, I have no idea how that would work, actually, how we would fairly account for that. What do you guys want to brainstorm it for a second, or would just say we'll get back to you?
We get back to you, but
Yeah.
Man, that's a lot of earner NFTs. If that's the case, but yeah, I think we should kind of brainstorm it and we'll think about it. But thanks for letting us know.
Let's see. Dash Rip Rock is asking, how's that promotion doing? Where can I see an example? I'm not, which promote, maybe he's talking about Common Ground World, or I'm not sure. Some questions about how Champions Arena and Eternal Paradox. They're saying, okay, you could lock it into the game. Yeah, I mean, we could, but if you have to enter your transfer code and then also enter your, if you have two-factor auth set up, enter your code that's generated there. I don't know. I mean, we can talk about that at a chain level, like locking NFTs, but it just seems like for people that have dozens or hundreds of NFTs that they actually use in the game, clicking through and locking all these and what it's not the thrilling, heart-pumping game playing action that I crave for sure. So I don't know about the rest of you guys, but clicking on pop-ups and entering things for an hour doesn't, I don't know. I would rather approach it in a way that doesn't require any extra work for our players. Let's see. Dash Riprock is saying, oh, he's asking about how's the, yeah, he's saying how's the collaboration or whatever we want to call it with the Common Ground film doing. Where could he see an example?
I don't think there's anywhere to see that yet. I think we're talking to them currently.
Yeah, it's under conversations.
Okay. Alrighty. Nacho G, will the daily challenge be reached automatically or do you have to press a button? For legal reasons, you will have to click claim challenge in the game or whatever the wording on the button says. It's not something that we want to allow to be automated or we don't want it to occur during fast forward or any of that. You have to load the game, pull up the modal, click the button.
Yeah, then once you click the button, you'll be eligible for the rewards. And you have to complete the objectives we set, of course.
See, I'd seen another question a little bit ago from, looks like Jasher. It says, in the NFT inventory in-game, can you put back the town points banner on those NFTs that have town points, including the number of town points? It was there in Play Canvas, and with earnings returning, it'd be nice to see which ones earn.
Yeah, I can answer this one. For sure, we're going to add that back when daily challenges, when we get closer to that. I already have the task to do that.
Sounds good. Zinga's saying earnings are coming back. Yep, we are bringing them back. Nacho G again. So this means I can remove all the buildings and place my Vox and click for it once the challenge is released. Yeah, tricky question, right? Because, we don't have all the Vox in the game. So that's definitely something that is part of our plans and we'll have to account for. Any NFT that has earning points associated with it is something that obviously you need to be able to apply to your town. So people are wondering when I say next quarter, I say we're beginning development on the daily challenges here in, about 3 weeks or so. Let's see. What happens? Artuxis. What happens if you reload in the middle of a long fast forward? Does it start over, or do you lose progress? You don't lose progress. Next time you connect, the fast forward will begin again. So you don't have to worry about that. And you are credited for the time spent fast forwarding. So if your fast forward event is going to take 10 minutes for the servers to do all that calculation, and you are offline for 4 hours, then your town will run in the fast forward land for 4 hours and 10 minutes. Do earning NFTs still have to be on GalaChain? That's for Reant, right?
Yeah. Can you repeat the question, please?
Sure. Earning NFTs for the daily challenges. Do those earning NFTs have to be on GalaChain?
That's a great question. So far, I would say not necessarily, but that could change once we release the feature. So I can't really give an exact answer right now.
Alrighty. Yeah. Let's see. Hey guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Try to make that as much of a non sequitur as possible. Yeah, there's just as a quick reminder, if you're on YouTube, click like, turn on notifications, and you'll get notified when we start this. Let's see. Lazy Lumberjack, why do you hope that the NFTs have to be on GalaChain to earn? Why do you hope that they don't have to be? Question from Couch Potato. Will there be more earning NFTs in the future, Riant?
That's a good question. I think we at some point said that we wouldn't make more earning NFTs. I think I can't give a definitive answer now.
Okay.
Those conversations are happening, though. We did just talk about it yesterday, actually.
Actually, yeah.
Okay. All right. I think that's, I don't see a ton of questions coming in. Oh, thank you. Yeah. Feature request. Can we have seasonal and or weather mods, that would have an effect on production? That would be amazing. Especially if it was in competitions. We want the playing ground to be fair for everybody, right? Especially if the weather was predictable and the same for everybody. So, 2 hours into the competition, there will be a storm cloud covering this area, or there will be a blight in this area, things like that. I know that Mark had some opinions on that. We don't want the game to be hostile. We don't want combat. We don't want ruined crops, things like that. So we would have to tread that feature pretty carefully.
Yeah, I would think we would start with at least like climate stuff. So it's like maybe during winter time, it's everything is snowing. We'll have like a snow map, with different properties. Maybe cold, and then can build off of that.
That would be really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, more questions about having the NFTs on GalaChain. We do recognize that it's expensive to move things around, with gas fees, not on GalaChain, that's free, but between chains. And currently, as anybody who's actively playing this game knows, that if you own an NFT on Ethereum network or you own it on GalaChain, both of those show up in your in-game inventory. From an engineering perspective, we don't have any plans to limit or change that, but there may be a gameplay or other reason that we do. So right now, if we make no changes, then the NFTs that you use from Ethereum will continue to be available in your game. Hope that made sense. Wasn't too nerdy. All right. Well, guys, you want to move on to leaks?
All right.
All right.
Yeah, sounds good.
How about for competition info?
Yeah, so the next competition is bicycles, which I think everybody should know by now since it was in Leaky Wednesday. There's no craft recipe change or anything. It's good old bicycles like they usually are. Though I think last time we did a bicycle meta, it did require less. I think steel required, or blue steel required less steel. But there are no changes to any craft recipes. It's all the standard recipes for everything. So bicycles. Silica is going to be cash boosted at 5,000 instead of 1,000. It is a desert biome, so you got plenty of opportunity to make a bunch of silica. The edges are going to be a river to the north, east and west are both mountains. So you've got mountains on both sides, and then there's going to be a desert on the south again. The gas is just back to 1 gas. It's a 60-second trade time, 30-second if you've got an Express Depot NFT or an Express Pier NFT. Standard Gala rewards for the top 1,200. There's no blueprint or anything this week. And that's about it. Everything else is returning to normal. Gold's back to not being cash boosted anymore. And golden hard necklaces are back to their standard star value.
Thanks. Cool. We have a live question from Radical on YouTube. Is this game free to play?
It is absolutely free to play.
There you go.
Try it out.
Yeah. If you are new, if you haven't played it yet, and you just happen to be listening, welcome. You might want to give so when you're at the main menu, the leftmost game, the Common Ground World one, that one is much more casual. Your workers have no wages, so they're going to keep working, forever. And it's kind of got a mini game of regenerating or improving the soil, the spoiled soil. And as you can see, some of those tiles are really expensive. So that's super casual. The middle one, middle option there is your, no stakes, nothing to win, just play around normal game. And then the right under events, you'll find all the cool events that Wild Moopsy and everybody set up that are our weekly competitions. Let's see. All right. Is there anything for sale this week, Riant?
There is actually, it's coming up in a few hours, in about 2 hours and a half. It's coming, the electric arc furnace. It's an epic NFT. It will cost $350 each one, and there are going to be 300 units for sale. And it will be able to craft blue steel and red steel. Will be making a comeback into the game later in April. So right now you will be able to craft blue steel so far with fewer materials without the need of a water pump, and it will require only 4 steel to make 1 unit of blue steel and half the energy required with no water pump required.
Well, that sounds awesome.
It is. Super helpful for the bicycle competition.
Already the blue steel memes coming. Rian, have you seen Zoolander?
Yeah, I have.
Nice.
Banger movie.
Well, that's very exciting. Okay. Here in a couple hours. All right. Well, interesting info on the sale. Do we have that in the bot already, Farmer Michelle?
What?
The blue steel info?
Oh, yeah.
This electric arc furnace?
The regular blue steel info, yes. There's no bot commands for NFTs.
Oh, well, shows what I know. Oh, well. Okay.
That's not a bad idea, though. It would take me a lot of time, but that's not a bad idea. What do you guys think out there? Would you like bot commands for NFTs? I think we've got like hundreds of them, so it would definitely take me some time to build. But
yeah, it's looking good. I don't have the ability to share it on YouTube, but I'm going to just paste an image into Discord. And apparently it was shared on ahead of the game last night, so awesome.
yeah, the full announcement went out yesterday as well.
Nice. Okay. Cool. Okay. Well, that wraps up all of our planned info. We did the sale, leaks, Q&A, game update, intro, everything. So you guys want to hang out for a minute and see if there's any more live questions?
Yeah, you all have any other questions for us? LV Postman, don't put Red Bull in your ears. That's not a good idea.
That's not how Red Bull works, everybody.
No.
I mean, you could try it, see what happens.
No, that sounds like a very bad idea. You'd just be
I'm
sticky.
supposed to give you wings.
When dog NFT? Rian?
April.
Okay.
Early April, yeah. We will let you know with anticipation.
Yeah. Couple comments about legal. Yeah, it's always slow because, that's just the nature of it, right?
Yeah, it's especially hard with an international company because there are so many different sets of legal to go through to make sure that's, good for everything and to get the terms and conditions proper for all the different places. And it's a lot of work.
How about the Brightwind sale? When is that coming?
Coming up in mid-April. We'll let you know as well. And Green Forges, probably May. Could be or late April or May. We will announce this with a lot of time for you to prepare.
Dr. Higgy hopes that Brightwind goes for $1,000. Okay. Question about the Crystal Sanctum, maybe? Just says Crystal Sanctum 2.
I do believe there's also Crystal Sanctums that did not get sold the first time around. Let me check the old announcement, and I'll find out.
Oh, here's a good gameplay question. What do you think about this one, Moopsy? If you have a passive 2.5 in the game, should that satisfy a passive requirement of 3?
I don't know. We have to see how the code does it.
Yeah.
I
would
I feel like that.
Down, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it has to do with the game rounding.
Yeah.
What would you prefer? I would say we round down, but
I would also say we round down, but then when you have 2, then you get like 6. Or sorry, you get 5, I mean. Oops. My maths today.
Oh, that's a good point. All right. Well, it seems like the questions are mostly satisfied at this point. Show me all the bright ones on the download. Yeah. I don't have that power. All right, everybody. Well, thank you so much for your attendance. And Riant, Ninja, Farmer Michelle, Wild Moopsy, thank you for being here.
Thank you, Volcron.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Volcron.
Thank you.
All right, y'all. Have a wonderful weekend.
Always. You too.
Happy Friday.
Happy
remember-
Friday.
Everybody.
Happy Friday. And remember,
Happy
if you're
Friday.
watching the stream, click like and subscribe and share it with your friends. And with that, we are out.
See ya.
Bye.
Hi, guys.
Bye.